Heaven touch heaven. Master Cheng No. Hello, classmates. Hello, everyone. We learn through. For syllabus of the celestial induction in front. The same as. The private officer said. I leave money for children. My son is not sure he can keep it. I leave books for my children. My son is not sure he can read it. It is best to be German. Cumulatively German. Then our next life will have good consequences. This is real. Understand. The way of induction. I can say these words. The Buddha tells us. From the father-son relationship, brother and sister sex, to the relationship between man and man. There are no more than 4 types of love. It is a debt repayment. If not these 4 kinds of fate. Even if we met, we didn't know each other. We call them strangers. Right in this life just arise. Relationship with me. Surely in the past life, there are 4 types of karma. There is good and evil in karma. We understood throughout. You must know the good evil. I owe someone who has to pay. Others. Deceiving me, trespassing on me, robbing me. We all have to think we're paying off debt. My heart will be comfortable. How self-contained. They lied to me. They steal from me. Because they don't cheat. To steal from others. Because in the past life, other people don't have that kind of relationship with them. Or in other words, we have taken from them in our past lives. Have stolen from them, have stolen from them. Today I met the future. They're still using this method to get it back. We have to pay for this occasion. So we have to be happy and end the relationship. To unite evil with all sentient beings. Even if you encounter evil fate, do not put it in your heart. The old man said fake champion. A kind person who has love. Who have compassion. They live forever. There is absolutely no confrontation in the whole life. How must this word be understood? Confrontation, of course, but in their hearts they are not. The heart is pure and compassionate, even if it is unrighteous. They are also sincere and loving. When you see that person in trouble, be willing to help them. There is still no hate. To be such a person. Great blessing. Even if we didn't have blessings in our previous lives, very thin blessing. If my whole life, you can trust the morality of the spiritual touch. You work very hard. Make a great effort. In this life, the good news comes. All my life my fellow practitioners have seen it very clearly. Previous life. I have not been blessed. So this world has a little bit of wisdom without blessing. Material life is extremely difficult. I've been through a long, hard time. If it was someone else, it would be unbearable. I've all been through. But according to age, the older the age, the blessing seems to be getting bigger. This is not because of the previous life, but because of this life. You all saw this with your own eyes. At the end of the day, no matter what you do, you are happy. Are very self-contained. This is. I do things. Testimonials for everyone. The Buddha said 3 turning the Phelan. I testify to everyone. Just try. The evil part. You just need to love. Sincere pure equality. Treat all sentient beings. We don't divide people's families equally. I do not pray for blessings. Blessed Natural Newspaper present money. Not asking for life. Natural long lifespan. I want these things or I don't have them. I don't think I'll stay long in this world. I. Following the teachings of the Bodhisattva Buddha, depending on the day. 1,000 words in the door of the Buddha called being a monk. Knock on that day. Life is still in the world one day. Then it will be for the Dharma, because sentient beings do a good job one day. I do not wish to be blessed. I don't want a title either. I don't expect to live long. Don't ask for anything. This month is a day without being alone. Some people are kind. I'm very worried about my life. You often come to see me as well. So it's important to understand the logic of retribution. And the truth behind that is the third little segment. In full text, it belongs to the second largest segment. The second big part is about kill the angels who monitor the world. The previous sentence is general. So in heaven and earth, there are gods who watch over the sins of the world, based on whether a person has committed a serious or minor crime that reduce their lifespan. So heaven and earth. In heaven and earth there are angels and demons. In the devil angel there is a kind expertise to do investigative work. It's so personal. It's the people who do surveillance work. They are often in the world to observe. You should know. Angels and demons. The Buddha in the sutras says they all have 5. These 5 gifts are due to their blessings. Except they don't have it. And the eye of heaven, God's love for you, you see, is full. Psychic powers. God is not equal to angels. This is the power of the angel. It can't be compared with the politically correct practitioner. But as for the people of our world, they have that ability. Let's start our minds. They all know. They all have records. After death, to be judged. This judgment is the last part of this book. Talk about a lot. It's our creation. It's not just behavior. Behavior is very serious. That the mind that initiates mindfulness is also a creation. When you see these facts, then our fear arises. Fear is the fear of evil. I start thinking evil, work evil. The future of evil is inevitable. It's called the sky net, but it's hard to escape. Morality with this truth. Very few people in this world know. Those who have no virtue have no virtue. We tell them. They call this superstition. They say this is a myth. They can't believe, they can't accept it. When the money is reported, regret is not in time. They can't believe this is suspicion. This is a very heavy affliction. Obstacles to your wisdom. Make you create countless poor artifacts. The Buddha in the Sutra has told us. This is said in the Bible. Each one of you. When you were born, 2 demons followed you. A lifetime without leaving the network. These two gods are on two shoulders. We can't detect it ourselves. Others don't see it either. One is called co-birth, another is called co-birth. These two angels. He is also seen as an angel. They've been watching us their whole lives. Day and night don't leave. We don't see them. These two gods. There is also another name in the Bible. Good and evil. A God. Then monitor my whole life of goodness. A God who oversees our evil creation for the rest of our lives. Can you escape or not? There's no way to escape. This is what the Buddha said in the sutra. In the Mahayana Sutra called the two good and evil mediums. It is also co-born, the same name that in the Bible strictly says. We learn Buddhism. But believing in Buddha is hard. I've told you before. It was only 2 years after I was ordained. After my ordination, I went to China to visit the monk. When I met him, he pointed at me and said, "You must believe in the Buddha." I was also stunned. I studied Buddhism for 7 years. After, he taught at the Buddhist Academy. I started teaching sutras from the day of my ordination. He's been preaching for 2 years. The lawyer just met. He told me to believe in God. Then he explained to me. There are a lot of people who are old enough to die. 7 to 80 years old still do not believe in Buddha. I now believe that Ra is the new so-called Buddhist news. All of the Buddha's teachings can be explained. If we can practice medicine, it is called Buddhist faith. We don't understand the morality. If we can't do that, we don't believe in the Buddha. Only here do we understand. I really know how many people. Both a life wearing this outfit right in the temple. Without believing in the Buddha. Not true medical practice. That's how people at home are. So in faith, there must be a willingness to be happy. If there is no wish, there is no happiness. This is not called trust. In nature, must be full. Decontrol properties decontrol. The answer is communication. It's all about methodological reasoning. The world that Buddha said. You have to apply it. The main proof is the entry. That way we can be truly used. In Buddhism, it's called being truly beneficial. So the language of the Buddha is like. The Buddha in the Diamond Sutra said, Fake foot language. Foot is not fake decision. False language is not a bad decision. Like phony language is a decision to agree with the truth. It's called unbridled speech. False language is not deceiving sentient beings. A false language is a decision not to say something. Two-way sentences are like real but fake. Buddha did not say these words. The Buddha's words are affirmative. The Buddha tells us, each one of us for a lifetime. There are two angels. It is good and evil, day and night. Not a minute, a second leaves us. To start thinking about the language of creation. If we are often, you can think of these two mediums of good and evil. Always by our side. Then start the mind, the words of my work. How can you dare not be careful? This word of the Buddha's decision is not false. It's definitely not a lie to us. They are born from invisible life to now. Affliction impurity is very deep thick. In ancient times, have parents to teach. Have a teacher advise your friends. The learning situation is very good. So our bad karma is less. The career is relatively large. Our situation is not like that now. Old traditional culture. People don't need it anymore. Not trust anymore. Our parents don't know how to teach us. Your teachers don't pay attention to these things either. So in this lifetime, we are free to suffer, depending on the practice of countless poor artifacts. Let's do so without falling apart. To do so without the punishment of heaven, devil, God. Personal like that. Family is like that. The world is like that. Look at the books of prophecy. It's in the bookstores now. There's a lot of me, very little going into the bookstore. Many fellow practitioners bought it and brought it to me to see it. I don't need to see it now. 1999 to 2000 is the end of the world. The poor man of the world. So much God is angry. I want to punish the world. This is also consistent with the ethics of touch. Why do people in the world create evil? Because no one taught them. Because there is no one to teach. Buddha Bodhisattva with great compassion. Why not be born in this world to teach us? Because the world does not accept it. That's why there is this great disaster. Yesterday a layman came to visit me. Ask me if this can be avoided. I tell you the truth, it's hard to avoid. the theory and method to avoid certain. But there's no way to do it. AI can fix innovation bugs. Who can let go of their own interests? For society, for beings to serve. If you don't let go of self-interest, keep doing things. The closet of self-interest. There is no way out of this life. So we have to understand this truth. The sky is so beautiful. We only recommend Ra. 2. The same name. The Bible says that apart from these two, the gods and demons monitor the world. Write down your good and evil. These demons are numerous. It can't be counted. It's also said in religions that there are records. The initiation of mindfulness, words. Our work can't be hidden. You must know for yourself. Take care of your own suffering. Fix your own impurities. Correct errors and renew efforts that practice. We don't pray for this world's reward, but pray for the afterlife. The next life is blessed. The next life will be raised higher. Our goal up high is the ecstasy world. Let's think about the mind that we have. My words destroy my supply of men. Are qualified to go to the West ecstasy. Then you know. We recite the Buddha's invocation. Can you hold it steady or not? My classmates. Yesterday. Talked about. There are gods in heaven and earth. To look after the sins of the people based on the people. Have committed a serious or minor sin that reduce their lifespan. This is all true. Absolutely not. Buddha Bodhisattva ancient fairy crushing. Use this method to teach the world how to practice evil. If we use that kind of attitude, to look at these things is wrong. I do not know the words of the saints. It's all true. Decisions without language. There are many ways to teach people. The decision is not to use the method. False insanity. Because the world just needs to find out. You have lied once. Because if they say anything else, they don't believe it. There are many countries in the world. It's like the United States and Australia. You work with government agencies. If there is a lie, there's a language they wrote down in the file. Because they won't believe anything you say. French is like that. Like situation. It's the bodhisattvas, these great sages. Your words have spoken. We should work hard. That operating. But The Bodhisattva Buddha once told us, even though there are gods, observe the good and evil of the world. If our ideas are transformed, the situation is completely different. The saints of the world teach us to remember. The Holy Spirit is remembrance. If you are a saint, you are a saint. That heaven and hell God. For the sage, they are very reverent. They are all very protective. Completely different festival status. To the realm of the Bodhisattva Buddha, the higher. So, there is a paragraph in the note. The use of strict business. The following is the German explanation. To teach us. Elaborate Stoic. It has to come from the hardest place to fix it. The key is to fix the problem. We have to reflect on ourselves. Right in everyday life. Which mistake is the biggest? Let's start with the biggest mistake. Big mistake. It's something that's hard to fix, that we can all fix. Small mistakes will be easy. Especially in the present circumstances in front of us. We see that there are legends from ancient times. There are a lot of rumors like this right now. You can often see it in society. It seems to be focused. At 1999 to 2001, right in these 3 years, there will be a great accident in the world. Where did the accident come from? Induced by the evil karma of sentient beings. This is the logic of touch. Legend. Not really. But we're closely watching this society. The human heart. Abnormal human mind. They cast out all good dharma. I am glad to receive all the evil. 10 good karma people hear and shake their heads. If they make 10 bad karma, they nod. So what's the other way? Join the siren. Deceiving others. Memories are wanted. Control over all people and things. I want to own all things and people. Always doing things that cost you. Actually, I've said a lot. People will not be able to benefit themselves. They got it wrong. We believe that harming people can benefit us. But to hurt people is to hurt yourself. You currently get very little of that benefit. When you die, you will definitely fall 3. that suffering must be endured. Through this morality, understand this truth. There's a little suffering in front of you. The next life will be blessed. The more the enemy wins, the more the Buddha is born. Make Buddha a nest. This is the real benefit. If you want to get this real benefit, it needs to be modified. My own mistakes. You can't fix it, you can't change it. The place is not the same. Of all sentient beings and bodhisattvas, then the Buddha mind is sincere, pure equality, compassion. Mind of Buddha. Bodhisattva's mind is like that. And the ordinary mind is the complete opposite. The human mind is deceitful, is the false pollution, has high-low self-interest. To be truly corrected, it must come from the heart. If you are truly interested, sincere, pure equality, the karma of countless lives, all are eliminated. Just like in the Bible, they say, mind bao tai, quantity far away from the world. You've all heard of it. Buddha taught to take compassion as the root, the means as the door. Compassion is sincere love. Pure and equal love is called compassion. This love is all over the world. Let's see. It is often said in other religions, God loves the world. This can know. There is only one truth in the world. That is love. You can love all beings. It's all over the French world. This is the truth of loving yourself. This morality is the truth of karma. That the sutra says very clearly, very clearly. We practice like that. You think that the heavens privatize this God. They can even record. It's our fault. Take our lives or not. It's impossible. It's also that we've gone beyond the scope, their rights and responsibilities. Just you. They use the mind. There's also the delusion of attachment. Still wanted to do things. You can't let people see you, or known. We're still in range vi. The responsibility of the devil. There's no way we can get past them. This has to be understood. In the annotation, there is a cone. Talk about Mr. Royal Excess. Of the Ming Dynasty, this project is very long. Very deep meaning. It's worth our vigilance. From this piece of cone. This piece of cone is real, not fake. Understand what the world is about. It's called a grain of rice, a drop of water. Nothing is unintended. Who intended that? Is the newspaper. But by himself the evil practice of good merit. That achieve. King as Lord. All three lives are German. From grandfather to father. And in his whole life, he'd never cheated on anyone. Using the pure mind to treat people in a receptive way. You can sacrifice yourself for people. Happy to help others. Wholeheartedly. Hospitable too. So the integration of touch. It's very clear. In the old days, to take the national examination. We've heard it said before. You can take the exam or not. The first factor is sound. It means that the yin and yang that we have accumulated first is the yin and yang. This person has a lot of love for Germany. In the next life, this man will prosper. So the evil life blessed. It's because of that. This has to be understood. Not yet clear mind and nature. It's all German. We. Special attention must be paid to. The day before. I heard the wizard. The wall is sick. The disease is very sudden. I heard you're in the hospital unconscious right now. Human resources. Because after leaving, we monastics can't compare with. It's like being at home. We are here. I saw people at the temple. General Haiyu. Last year, the president of the Kuan Society to Save Suffering is Lam Weivenvan. I went to visit you. There are also many people who come to help you. When he departed, the spirit was clear. Stay awake, he told everyone. I don't see you anymore. I can only see a golden light. You go away. Saw the Bodhisattva Buddha continue to lead the birth. We heard a lot. even people who read Buddhist scriptures. There's a lot of touch that can't be thought of. These sensors we know, but we shouldn't talk. Just use your heart to study. The evil part. Correct the error of the old man actually recited the Buddha's wish for pure birth. Decided to be born. In the end, there's a little story. During the Song dynasty, there was a Zen master at Kwanghu Temple. In meditation he saw there's two monks talking. At first these two talked. There's an angel nearby. But it didn't take long. All these angels are gone. After leaving, there are some demons coming. Demons come around them, spit and curse them. The reason for that, when these two monks talk together, the first is to discuss Buddhism. The angel supports. After they finished speaking the Dharma, they talked about their families. The angel is gone. And then we'll talk about fame and fortune. The devil comes. You should know when you start thinking. I recite a righteous thought. Then the Buddhas support long-term good gods support. An evil thought has been born. It makes the devil come. So, the world is rebuked by the devil. If you think about fame and fortune, that's poor creation. Let's think about it. Current people body speech be a karma created. In fact, compared to these monastics, only more, not less. They're still discussing Dharma. But now we meet, they all say it's good reputation. Do you still discuss the Dharma? So this world, phantom strength. We need to understand clearly. What do you do without any obstacles? We just need to be mindful. Get a day's time. Good work one day. In good, the enemy wins. That's the benefit of the Dharma. Some people came to ask me, we have to figure out how to build a temple. Building a temple is not difficult. It's hard to say whether this is religious or not. What is religion must have a sermon. Today, all over the world, many people come to Singapore to study. Praise this ashram. This temple wins hung thin. It's because it's hung thin. Because why does it win? This temple preaches every day. It's an uninterrupted 360-day year. Recitation of the Buddha. Day and night 24 hours without interruption. Every day is like that. So make this temple flourish. Top bottom. Thousands of people. No one has the idea that everyone gets along. We have to preach every day. We have to recite the Buddha every day. If 3 days do not recite the sutra, 3 days do not recite the Buddha, then the idea comes. People think about it all the time. Everyone has their own differences. Everyone has their own attachments. Then it's not the ashram anymore. You must understand this doctrine. We have to actively cultivate talented people. Where does the Dharma come from? Training from the radio that raw. We can't go to the radio every day. How can we teach a good sermon? If we want to bring a sermon or preaching for insight, every day we have to go to the lecture hall and practice. The city of respect. But to receive public criticism, if you try to fix the problem, you can improve yourself. I really want to preach well. You don't just have to know how to teach, but you have to be honest. Every word, every sentence. It all comes out of the mind that it's real. This is how you have to be self-taught. There is no real preparation, even though there are these techniques. But we're still not working. You have to self-destruct. The 4 of us are well-trained. You can truly help others. It's possible to start inductive delivery. This sentence in the celestial induction reminds us. Our book seen. That makes us. No. That's exactly what I said. I hold my head 3 feet high. This is definitely not a euphemism. It's definitely not deceiving people. We have to be vigilant. Hard work to study. I hope to raise my own level. Beyond the power of the devil. Then we've really succeeded. Okay, time's up today. We're just preaching here, Amitabha Buddha. Translate Hope West resident email address. hopewestlayman@gmail.com. Happy reading. The offerings made by Buddhist families. German kindness to offer. May all sentient beings believe in God. Born to the water of ecstasy. May this merit be honored in the land of Buddha. On the temple for heavy bhattas under the three-way rescue. If anyone can hear you, all of these people have developed bodhicitta. Co-birth of the water of ecstasy. Nam Tishu Ad Da Buddha.